What's up guys, it's me Jeremy. Just before we start real quick, we have a message from our sponsor, ggesports.com. On their website you play as an analyst predicting the outcome of esports matches, and it's been a lot of fun to play alongside watching Rift Rivals and LCS. But it's not a betting website, you don't use any real money, just their in-game currency which you get for free, and you can use it to win real prizes like laptops and phones. So check them out, and after you sign up, make sure to hit the join button on the tournament section to get started. Big thanks to ggesports.com for supporting our content, and let's jump right into the video. At the current pace of champion development with League of Legends, there will eventually come a point where the game could end up having too many champions. Having said that, it's not like Riot can, totally stop updating their game or start removing champions, which means it's time for them to start thinking about the long term and really planning for the game's future. And one way that they've been doing this is by shifting the priorities of the champion design and rework teams. The June Champion Roadmap update from Riot Reef 3 contained a lot of interesting information about upcoming reworks and the rework teams, but it also contained quite a lot of announcements, one of which is the inspiration for this video. Now, up until this point, Riot had distinct champion design and distinct rework teams, but the announcement has since confirmed that these teams will no longer be limited to one or the other. Instead, there will now be 5 separate teams of designers that can either work on new champions or full-scale visual and gameplay updates, depending on what they want to focus on at the time. Although a move like this could potentially allow all teams to focus 100% on new champions each, it seems like the exact opposite is going to happen, and the main drive behind the change is to free up more designers to work on more reworks. Riot Reef 3's post confirmed that Riot will definitely be ramping up the number of full visual gameplay updates, and as well decreasing the number of new champions being made from here on out, with evaluations and tweaks being made to the ratio as time goes on. Now, from a business perspective, it's quite interesting because creating new champions is definitely much better for Riot than releasing reworks. Not only do most players already own the champions that end up receiving reworks, but there's a lot more risk attached when you actually rework a champion. You potentially risk upsetting the player base that already plays that champion if the rework isn't maybe what they wanted or expected to get, while on the other hand, new champions tend to have a lot more appeal because they're just so new and exciting and really just different, especially lately. And changes can be made to champions if they're not perfect on release, and it's not something that people are not expecting. And at the same time, you also have to consider that new champions make Riot a lot more money than reworks too. Which, with all that said, does make it a little bit surprising that Riot wants to move away from the cash cow of creating new champions, but the change Riot is making here is definitely focused on the long term for the game and is pretty necessary to ensure the longevity of the game. Riot's dedication to reworking older champions is nothing new. After all, League of Legends has been around for quite some time now, and many of the champions that were originally groundbreaking when they were released kind of seem a little bit outdated. The list of champions Riot wants to rework, and has honestly kind of confirmed that they plan on reworking in the future, is honestly just gigantic, to the point where if you honestly just spend 20, maybe 30 minutes on the official Riot forums, searching up some Riot posts, you can find a mention of a good maybe 20 or even 30 champions that Riot has expressed serious and major interest in reworking in the future. But that list is maybe for a different video. Anyway, over the years, Riot's champion development standards have increased dramatically, and to keep the game fresh and modern, it's important that they extend these standards to older, less polished champions as well. With the spotlight on reworking champions now rather than developing new ones, it's also kind of surprising to hear that Riot is going to be discontinuing their seasonal class updates in favor of focusing on individual reworks instead. Roster updates have always kind of been hit or miss, honestly. They tend to maybe succeed in giving all of the reworked champions a fresh new identity. It's a good way to shake up the meta, but having so many updates bundled together makes it really difficult to predict the outcomes of each one individually, leading to some really serious extended periods of imbalance. And on top of that, they also do carry all the same risks as individual reworks, but on a much larger scale, since you have the potential to alienate the mains of entire roles almost all at once. Now, Riot has felt that, up until this point at least, the pros have outweighed the cons, particularly since they help set the boundaries between different classes, so it's also a lot easier for newer champions to slot in, but class updates have also caused Riot to neglect a lot of champions that really needed reworks, but didn't exactly fit in line with the class update goals, or maybe were not part of the classes being update, Azir being one of the main examples in the post by Riot Reef 3 that he uses. Which means that some of the 5 design teams are going to be picking out champions for reworks based on how high of a priority they are, rather than actually waiting for that champion's class update. Riot has also confirmed that one of the teams is going to be getting started on Aatrox's rework, which will hopefully ease the concerns of people that were looking forward to the Diver class update, and we'll have a more in-depth video on Aatrox's rework coming pretty soon. Overall, it's going to be a really interesting shakeup, and I definitely wouldn't be surprised to see Riot double down on skins to make up for maybe the loss in revenue that developing less new champions is going to cause. It's obvious that Riot have been seriously considering the future of League of Legends, and despite the risk, reworks are a far better investment into the game's future than just constantly churning out new champions. Especially because eventually you will get to the point where the game just has too many champions, and rather than removing champions from the game, it's so much better to just make champions a little bit slower here and there. Thanks for watching the video, everybody. I just wanted to take some extra time here at the end to talk about a little bit of a fun thing that I've been doing lately with our sponsor. Currently, I'm competing alongside Red Mercy and Fresco to see who can win the most on ggesports.com. So the winner is actually going to get a bunch of prizes to give away to the viewers, so I'm definitely doing my best for you guys. I actually had a really rough start and was super far behind for the first couple weeks, but Rift Rivals definitely did me good. My NA boys came through, so I'm bouncing back, and I think I might actually be in first place now by like a really small amount. I actually do kind of like betting on upsets a lot, because if you win, you kind of get like a lot more earnings. But I'll definitely try to be a little bit careful with my predictions, and I hope to do you guys proud and hopefully look forward to the future giveaway with that.